Morning world, Hippy Trev here. Another awesome day up here in paradise as always, and it's going to be a hot one and a sticky one. We've had so much rain lately, it's going to be very humid. And look at this, what a pity I don't eat mangoes. That's Fat Boys next door. All these beautiful mangoes. Roll the intro. Hi, Hippy Trev here, and welcome to my channel. Hope you get something out of it. Rightio world, so what are we doing today? Well, I'll tell you what we're doing today. Let's get the shed open. Oh. Right, today we're going to do a service on the boat and the bike. Both are due oil and filter changes, so we're going to get them done today. So I've just got to wait another maybe hour or so till the delivery arrives. I've got an oil filter coming in for the boat. They didn't have one in stock at the local J&J Autos, so they've got one on order, and that'll be here today. Probably won't get in for at least, well, any time after 10 is a good time to go and pick up an order, and by then I shouldn't be blowing any numbers either. So anyway, that's the mission for today. I'll take the bike down and pick up the oil filter of that, bring that back and drop its oil and change its filter, and just let it sit there and drain. And I'll take the boat out for a short run, warm that up, come back, do the same thing. And what I've got to do with the boat is, because the oil filter's probably nothing you can see, the oil filter, no, too dark. Alright, what I've got to do is anyway, the oil filter's right down the front there, and it's got bash plates under the front. So instead of trying to get the oil, getting down there and having a hassle of time trying to get the oil filter out, I'll actually jack the car up, pull the bash plates off, and that way I can drain the oil straight on into the pan from the oil filter, and instead of having it all run down the bash plates and just being all shitty. So right out, I'll catch you when I'm about to head out and go and pick up the oil filter. Later. Rightio, well, so the oil filter for the car wasn't in, but anyway, we'll still do the oil change on the bike. She needs it, she's overdue. So we'll get in there and get that done right now. Harley. My old one used to have a drain plug under here. Now oil will just go all over the bike. That's a terrible idea. This one has a long hose. This one has a long hose and a plug in the bottom on a worm drive. Makes it so much easier. And it also looks pretty good. It's a bit blacky, so I'll check for gold filings in there. Now the worst part is getting these bloody oil filters off. Now goddamn pain in the arse. A real problem getting these bastards off. Got it. The secret is do not put these suckers on too tight. There we go. That's a terrible state of plug. An oil filter. I'll also drain that. Alright, one brand new oil filter. Now, some people say you should fill these up before you put them on. I don't bother. And you're supposed to fill that up and put that on there without it all falling out, so there's just no point in doing that. And we'll just give it a little bit of a nip up. Not too tight. Because we want to go and get it off again. That's it. That's the oil filter done. I'll drain the oil filter. This off my old, this a skylight hatch off my bus. And I had to get a new skylight. It was perfect for draining. Looking there, she's pretty drained. It's good. Rightio, well, so I'm going to go and have a cup of tea and just let that cool down and drain before I try and put the plug in, because I'm just going to burn my foot under your hands on the exhaust pipe. So, oil and filter change almost done on the bike, and then take it for another run. Rightio, we'll be back later. Rightio, well, so that's the oil change done. Just got to get the plug back in. Now the pipes are nice and cold. I'm not going to burn the shit out of myself. Do it up with a screwdriver. That's that done. Get back in his little soft spot there. Right, so get some oil. Some brand new 20W50. That's what I run. That's what I run in my Harley. I also run the same in the boat, 20W50. And in the primary of this bike, I run transmission fluid. a little bit of a story about this motor. So when I was travelling back from Victoria in April this year, before this shit happened, my motor blew up in New South Wales. The motor was in the bike. It dropped the bottom end bearing on the front pot. I was 40 k's out on the veranda, and suddenly the bike just started making a horrible amount of noise, and I looked down, there's no oil pressure on the gauge, and I just held it at 70 mile an hour all the way into the veranda. And anyway, end of the story was, well, basically we dropped the bottom bearing on the front pot. So I bought this motor off Darren Cross for $3,000, went down and grabbed that, chucked it in the bike, got her up and running, beautiful. Went to go for a ride down the road, and then suddenly I looked down and there was no oil pressure. Like, what the fuck is going on here? What's going on with this bike? Why is there no oil pressure? And so anyway, what I did, I started pulling all these oil lines off and found out the one from the bottom of the tank running to the oil pump. Oh, we've got a plane flying over. There's your bugger. It had no oil. It had blocked. Now, what I didn't realise was, dear old Darren, is when he strips his bikes down, he puts the earplugs, you know, those screw-up earplugs, he puts them in all the holes so wasps and shit can't land in there. What happened, one of the plugs must have been pushed through one of the lines into the oil tank and ended up blocking the line here, so I had to blow that out, and lucky I was able to get in there and fish that plug out. So it did run for a little bit, not too long. That's full, with no oil going through the motor. So what I'm going to do is, the oil I've just taken out, I'm going to check the gold filings to just make sure. I'm going to check the oil, make sure there's not too many gold filings. This motor hasn't used a drop of oil. I've done, I reckon, close to 5,000 miles since the motor went in, or maybe a bit more or a bit less, I'm not sure. I'll go and get my book in a minute and do a reading, but anyway, let's start her up. So there's no oil in the filter. All looking straight up. I've just got to top the rest of the oil up into the tank. I can't even see where I'm at. Nearly there. Full. Pretty sure that's full. I'm going to have to have a quick check. Yep, she's full. Rightio, dribble left in there. So this is the logbook I log all my travels and stuff in. Done the Vic run in here. Thank you, Rachel Brady, for my book. Gave it to me as a present many years ago. It's well used. Oh yeah, so $12,634. I'm now at 16,643. So almost exactly 4,000 miles. So let's write that in. Today's date. So it's the 9th of the 12th. 9, 12, 20, 21. Change 166 16643. So just on 4,000 miles in the bike. Sorry, just on 4,000 miles on the bike, and that's the first oil change since I put the motor in the bike. So now I'm going to check my oil. Yeah, let's see what my oil looks like. So these are great. These are, that's like a cut off drench container from a farm. So you cut them in half, and if you cut them exactly the right way, they make great shelving, and you also get a handle. Right, so this is the oil from the oil filter. I'll just run that through first. And yes, there's there is plenty, I don't know if you can see it in the sunlight, there's plenty of gold filings. So that means my bottom bearings are going on this motor as well. We don't know what the lifespan is going to be, but there's plenty of gold file. There's more gold filings. I'll get in the sunlight. There's more gold filings in that oil filter oil than I would like to see. Way too much. That is not a good sign. So for that very short run I did without any oil going through the motor, might have done some serious damage to the bottom end. But I've done 4,000 miles, it hasn't used any oil. Oops. So, and this is the oil out of the oil tank. And there's no gold filings in there. So all the gold filings came out of the oil filter. So obviously the oil filter luckily has picked it all up, which is good. It's definitely mowing weather over up here at the moment. Someone's out with their noisy lawnmower. Alright, rightio worlds. I'm going to take the bike for a quick run now I've done the oil and filter change, and check the level when I get back again. So anyway worlds, that's how we do oil and filter change on a Harley. Pretty straightforward and pretty simple. Alright, stay safe, keep your knees in the breeze, and I'll catch you later. Bye.